Let's talk about something really important today: what alcohol actually does to our brains over the long haul. But more than that, we're going to focus on the amazing way our brains can heal and what that road to recovery really looks like.
Before we get into any of the science, I just want to start here. If this is a journey you're on or someone you love is on, please hear this. You are absolutely not alone in this. We see the fight, and we believe 100% in your strength to get through it.
All right, so let's get into the science. And look, the point of this isn't to scare anyone. It's actually the opposite. Understanding what's really going on inside the brain, well, that's power. It's the first step to understanding how healing truly happens. So here's the key idea: a condition called alcohol-related brain damage, or ARBD. This happens from long-term heavy drinking. And the crucial thing to understand is that alcohol isn't just some indirect problem, it acts as a direct neurotoxin. In other words, it's literally a poison to the nerve cells that make you, you. And when those nerve cells get damaged by this toxin, it can lead to something called cerebral atrophy. Now, that's a fancy term, but it means exactly what it sounds like: brain shrinkage. The actual physical volume of the brain can decrease because those neurons are being lost. So where does this damage hit the hardest? Well, think about your frontal lobe as the CEO of your brain. It's in charge of judgment, making good decisions, setting goals. When it's damaged, all of that gets a lot harder. Then there's the limbic system, your emotional hub. Damage there can make it tough to read people's faces or understand social cues. And finally, the cerebellum, which handles your coordination. When that's affected, you get unsteadiness, maybe trouble with balance.
Okay, now we need to focus on a group that's in a uniquely dangerous position. A teenager's brain is basically a construction zone. It's still developing, and that makes it incredibly vulnerable to the effects of alcohol. And this is where it gets really counterintuitive and, frankly, dangerous. You'd think teens would be more sensitive to alcohol, but they're actually less sensitive to feeling drunk or sedated. But, and this is the critical parts, their brains are more sensitive to the actual damage, the harm it does to their memory and their nerve cells. And this leads to a statistic that is just staggering. A young person who starts drinking before they're 15 years old is 4 times more likely to develop alcohol addiction as an adult. 4 times! So you can see how this creates a perfect storm, right? They don't feel as drunk, so they might drink more to get the effect they're looking for. And all the while, their developing brain, which is already way more vulnerable, is getting flooded with higher, more dangerous levels of this toxin. Now, after all that heavy stuff, I want to pivot, because this is not just a story about damage. It's a story about resilience. It's about hope, and it's about the incredible, amazing ability that our brains have to heal. Which leads us to the biggest question of all, the one you're probably asking right now. After everything we've talked about, is it too late? Can the brain actually recover from this? And I am so happy to tell you that the answer, backed by a ton of science, is a powerful, undeniable yes. The key, the secret ingredient, is abstinence. When you stop drinking, you give your brain the chance it needs to start repairing itself. Healing is not just a hope, it's a reality. So what does this healing actually look like? Well, it's pretty incredible. A lot of the negative effects can be reversed. And get this, people often see real, noticeable improvements in just the first 2 to 3 months. Stick with it for a few years, and most of the cognitive issues can actually resolve themselves. The brain is amazing. Knowing that recovery is possible is one thing, but having the right support to get there, that's everything. And that's where organizations like Recovery CNT come in. They help build that structured path to healing. And I think their core idea is just fantastic. They believe recovery shouldn't mean you have to hit pause on your entire life. They offer outpatient services, which means you can get the help you need while still going to work, taking care of your family, and living your life. So here's a quick look at their approach. Like we said, it's outpatient, so you can heal in the real world. They take a personalized boutique-style approach. That means smaller groups, more one-on-one attention. And it's all built on a solid foundation of proven, evidence-based medicine and family therapy, which is so, so important. And that support is really tailored to who you are. They've got programs designed for professionals, for students, for nurses, people who have unique pressures. They use proven medical treatments to help manage withdrawals safely. And they involve the family, because they know that healing the whole support system is absolutely key to success. So we've seen the science of the brain, and we've seen the science of recovery. Look, The hardest part is almost always taking that very first step. But it's not a step into the unknown. It is a step toward a hopeful future. And help is right there waiting. If you're ready or if someone you care about is, please reach out. You can call Recovery CNT at 1-732-484-9661, or you can find them online at recoverycnt.com. Please take that step today.